What is up, everybody? Those on Soil is back with a Kill Team battle report today. We're going to be doing a, get ready, this is a mouthful, Warhammer 40k Kill Team Commander Elites game. It's just, the titles is getting longer and longer the more installments we get. But I'm here with my friend John, once again. He's brought his Tyranids back, and I will be using my Deathwatch. So starting down the line for my Kill Team here, I've got a not Primaris Psyker with Misfortune and Forewarning, in addition to Cybolt. And then my leader is going to be this Terminator Sergeant with a Stormbolter and Power Sword. Then for my Heavy Specialist, I got a guy with a Frag Cannon. For my Demo Specialist, I've got a guy with a Frag Cannon. And for my Sniper Specialist, I've got a guy with a Frag Cannon. And a Primaris Intercessor Sergeant with Assault Bolter and Power Sword. And that's the whole thing. 200 points of Deathwatch for Warhammer 40k Kill Team Elites Commander. So let's see what the Tyranids are rocking. And also the Commander is a Psyker Specialist, so he's +1 to cast.
All right.
So what do we got here, John?
What we got is a Commander, which is my Broodlord with the Specialism of Psyker. He's got Monstrous Rending Claws. Catalyst is Psychic Power as well as Cybolt.
Cool.
Then with the white band, we've got the leader, Gene Stealer. He has an Acid Mon Toxin Sacs. Then we got the red band, that's Combat. He has Acid Mon Toxin Sacs as well.
Sounds good.
Yellow is Scout. Purple is Veteran. And then we got 2 regular non-specialist Gene Stealers. And
Lots of Gene Stealers.
That's 200 points.
I don't know, a more thematic matchup that we could do today. Deathwatch with a bunch of Frag Cannons and a bunch of Gene Stealers that want to eat the shit out of them.
Yep.
So, yeah, let's check out the mission. The mission we're going to be playing today is a narrative mission from the new Elites book, Surrounded. Pretty thematic, since it's going to be a bunch of Space Marines just getting absolutely ambushed by Gene Stealers. So, basically, I just have to not die, I'm pretty sure. So, we'll see how this goes. Could be fast, could be extremely bloody. Frag cannons could cut apart the entire kill team, so we shall see. What do you think, Wes? What's your prediction?
Hi there. I think that it'll be a good game and everyone will have a lot of fun. And I think the Gene Stealers might take it. I don't know. Broodlords are pretty gross.
It's a pretty bold prediction from the guy painting in the corner. So, yeah, we'll get deployed and come back to you in a second. All right, and here is the battlefield and the deployment that we came up with. I'll start down here. My Demo Specialist is kind of out here in the open because he does not give a fuck. My Sniper Specialist also kind of out here in the open because he also does not give a fuck. Primaris Psyker and the Intercessor Sergeant are kind of right next to each other in the center. And then I've got my leader Terminator Sergeant over in reserves and the Heavy Specialist in reserves. John, what are we working with?
We got the Broodlord down here in that corner.
Mm-hmm.
He's hiding out behind this wall, plotting.
Yeah, touching his head intently.
That's where the brains are. We got a Combat Specialist over here,
cool,
lurking behind a wall.
Sounds good.
We have my Veteran hanging out behind that storage crate.
Lots of aliens behind walls so far, okay.
Yeah, and we
what
got
about over here?
Scout hanging out behind there.
Also creeping in the shadows. Okay, cool. So, and then you've got your leader and 2 of the normal Gene Stealers just in reserves.
Correct.
Cool. So in this mission, I can't bring in reserves on the first turn, but you can. So at the end of your movement phase, any of your guys could come in your deployment zone, which is most of the edges of the board, which is pretty cool. So, yeah, let's roll for initiative. Let's see what we're working with here. So, I'm going to get... Ooh, nice 9. Oh, shit. Well, you got me with an 11. So, the Gene Stealers, well, the Tyranids, which happen to be a lot of Gene Stealers, are going to have the initiative for the first turn. So, come back to you after movement. So, before the movement phase is completed, though, right here, the Veteran made his first move, and in the movement phase, he's going to be charging my Primaris Intercessor. So I'm going to get 2 shots because I've got an Assault Bolter hitting on 6s, and I'm using Hellfire rounds, but I don't get a single hit. So now you've got a 7-inch rerollable charge here, John.
All right, see if we do it. Oh, we do it.
We do it. Okay, cool. So you can move him the whole 8 and probably lock up my Psyker over there too. So after measuring it up, the Gene Stealer actually can't lock up the Psyker, which is good for me, but also this Intercessor is probably going to get mulched in a second here, so I'll come back to you after the Deathwatch movement. Alright, and wrapping up movement, this guy just moved in advanced over here to get a little closer to the Broodlord. This is kind of a little bit of a strategic gamble on my part, because if the Broodlord Cybolts him, he's only got 1 wound, and he's probably going to get cooked. Or I could deny it with my Psyker, but that's kind of unlikely. But I'm now close enough to where I could probably frag cannon him out of existence if I had wanted to, so we'll see how that kind of unfolds. Over here, the Primary Psyker just charged into this combat with the Gene Stealer, and this guy moved in advance over here to get a better look at this guy. So now we're on to the Psychic phase, so come back to you after that. And in the Psychic phase, John has decided to, instead of do Catalyst on this guy to maybe keep him alive, he's just going to Cybolt the fuck out of this guy with a frag cannon. So he's got +1 because he's a Psyker specialist, so he needs a 4 to get it off.
Let's see if it happens.
Oh god, he got it with flying colors. That would actually be a D3 Cybolt too, D3 damage, which is really good. So let's see if I can get it with my guy. I need a double 6 though, because he's -1 because of Shadow of the Warp. Don't know what the other dice is, but I don't get it by default. So now it's going to be D3 damage on this guy.
Alright.
For the big 3 damage. So you roll 3 dice, and if there's a 4 in there, he's cooked. You have effectively cooked my frag cannon boy, dear sir.
Sweet.
And that is the end of the Psychic phase for the Tyranids. Come back to my Psychic phase with my guy. Yeah, so Deathwatch Psychic phase. My Primary Psyker, who's not actually a Primary Psyker, is going to do Cybolt onto this Gene Stealer here. Needs a 5 because the +1 gets negated by Shadow of the Warp over here. Gets it off, so you take 1 mortal wound.
Alright.
And
No involves taken on that, right?
no involves taken on that.
Right.
So a 4 and you're out. Ooh, and I cooked
Boom.
the Gene Stealer with a Cybolt right to the face.
Boom.
So he is dead. And next I'm going to do forewarning. I'll just do forewarning onto himself, which does not go off. So we'll come back to you after shooting. In the shooting phase, I'm going to start off with the Intercessor with the auto bolter over here in the center. Now that he's not locked up in combat, going to fire off into this guy, doing 2 shots, long range obscured. So hitting on 5s with the Hellfire rounds. No hits. And over here, this frag cannon sniper guy is going to just unload 2d6 auto hits into the Scout Specialist. He's going to get only 4 hits. And then this is wounding you. Your toughness 4.
Yes.
So wounding you on 3s.
Oh no.
So 3 wounds, AP -1. So 3 5-ups.
That was 4.
Or 4.
Oh,
4
okay.
saves. So 4 actually saves at 5-up. Oh,
Make
very
2.
close, but not enough.
2 going in.
And on a 4-up, you're out because you're not within you are within an inch of obscurity. So 5-up and you're out. So you are out, and that's the end of turn 1 actually, because I only had 2 things that could shoot that are on the board, and everything else is kind of like hiding in the shadows over here. So at the end of turn 1, one of my frag cannon guys is dead, and 2 of his Gene Stealers are dead. So we're kind of trading off here. I'm up to 4 command points to John's 3, and let's see what the slaughter can bring us for turn 2. Initiative for turn 2, I'm gonna get a 9 or 10. Tier 8, so I have initiative for this turn. So come back to you with movement. All right, and movement is complete for turn 2. This guy just scooted up a little closer to the Broodlord, my Primary Psyker here. My Intercessor just readied up. One of my guys with a frag cannon. The Heavy Specialist came in out of reserves in my deployment zone. The Sniper Specialist moved and advanced over onto this cover terrain piece over here. The Combat Specialist for the Tyranids, Gene Stealers, moved over here closer to these guys. This guy came out of reserves over in the deployment zone for him, and the leader and the other non-specialist Gene Stealer came out of reserves right next to the Broodlord. Which is probably the smartest play to do since they can't charge out of combat, but there's like threat overload right here, so I have to choose whether or not I'm going to shoot the Broodlord, or whether or not I'm going to kill these Gene Stealers. So I think John's got it pretty set up for the next turn. If I can't kill any of this stuff because of like good invul saves, he's going to be chopping up my dudes in no time here. So we'll come back to you with the Psychic phase. Also, it probably goes without saying, but my mission tactics for the Deathwatch in this has been to reroll 1s to wound against Gene Stealers, which is probably the obvious choice, but figure I'd mention it. So in the Psychic phase, my primary Psyker is closest to this Gene Stealer, so he's going to try to Psybolt him. So he's going to need a 5 on this. Get it with an 11, so it is a D3 Psybolt. So it's going to be 2 mortal wounds onto that Gene Stealer. So 2 wounds. He is obscured, within an inch of obscurity, so 2. I need 5s. And I get a 5 out of that, so he is out of action.
Okay.
That's the combat specialist. So let's see if we get forewarning off. I do get it off. So he's got a 4-up invulnerable save until the next Psychic phase. And he's going to try to deny the forewarning. Which you don't, because you need an 8, and I got an 8 that got brought down to a 7. So forewarning is still good, so he's got a 4-up invulnerable save. Come back to you with the shooting. In the shooting phase, I've got just my Primaris Intercessor Sergeant in the center here. He's going to use his Auto Bolter to try to ping off a wound of the leader over here. So he's hitting on 5s because of obscurity and long range, and using Hellfire. No hits. The primary Psyker is just going to do his bolt pistol into the Broodlord here. He's going to use Hellfire rounds. So long range and obscured. On 5, doesn't hit. And the Terminator Sergeant here is going to split fire into the leader and this other Gene Stealer. So the first 2 here, hitting on 3s because we're out in the open here. And using Hellfire, so 1 hit. And wounding on 2s, reroll 1s. So 1 wound. 1 5-up save. Does not make it. Takes him down to 1, so a 4-up will take the leader out. And I get a 6, and the leader is done. Now the other 2 go in here hitting on 3s. Both hit with double 6s. Absolutely ridiculous. And winning on 2s, reroll 1s. So 2 more wounds, so 2 5-up saves onto that Gene Stealer. Made them both.
Hey, how about
Made
that?
them both. So that is that. So the heavy specialist in the center, I'm going to spend a CP on more bullets. So he's going to do 3 shots from the frag cannon into the Broodlord here, hitting on 5s. No hits. Sniper specialist over here up on this terrain piece is shit out of luck because he's got no targets within range that he can actually see. So we'll come back to you with the... I don't know what's left. There's nothing else. There's no charging or anything. So I think that might be it actually. Yes, we'll come back to you with turn 3 initiative. Initiative for turn 3. I'm gonna get 6. So John 7. So go ahead with movement, John. And so far in the movement phase, this guy got a huge advance over here, 6 inches plus his 8, so he's way over here now. And the Broodlord is gonna try to soak up some Overwatch on my Terminator Sergeant to maybe get this Gene Stealer into him. So let's charge. Oh, I think you're easily in there.
Just barely.
Yeah, you're in. So I'm gonna get 4 shots in Overwatch. I'll do Hellfire rounds. Looking for 6s. I get 0 6s.
5 again.
5-inch charge over here from the Gene Stealer, and he is
Right.
way in. And movement for the Deathwatch is done. This guy over here, the Sniper Specialist, stood still and readied. The Intercessor Sergeant in the middle also stood still and readied. This Heavy Specialist here moved and advanced because the frag cannon is an assault weapon, which makes a whole lot of sense, right, Wes? It's not overpowered at all.
Yeah, no, it seems fair.
That seems fair. 2d6 auto hitting, assaulting.
If anything, they need a points reduction.
Yeah, I think they should maybe be like 2 points per model. That'd be really cool. And the Primaris Psyker jumped up here onto the building so we could take a nice, good look at this Broodlord. So we will come back to you with the Psychic phase. The Broodlord is going to Catalyst himself in the Psychic phase. Oh god, Gene Stealer is taken out as a casualty, but Catalyst goes off. I'm not going to try to deny that. And my Psyker is going to try to Psybolt the Broodlord. Which goes off on an 11! It's D3 mortal wounds onto the Broodlord. Big 2. So, but you have two 5-up feeling pains now. Or you could deny it.
Yeah, I'll deny it.
Let's try to deny it.
Thank you, Wes.
Not denied. But now you get 2 5 fulfillment pains.
Nope.
Which you make neither of.
Wow.
That's mighty unfortunate.
No.
What's he down to?
What is that? Two wounds?
2 wounds, yeah.
4.
Down to 4 wounds. And he'll try to do forewarning on himself. Goes off. So he's got a 4-up invul again. Shooting for this turn. In turn 3, I'm going to start with my sniper specialist way over there. He's going to do 2 shots onto this Gene Stealer. He's hitting on 5s, but reroll on 1s because he's a sniper specialist. Ooh, reroll this 1. And 2 no hits. And the Intercessor Sergeant here is going to do 2 shots into the Gene Stealer over here using Hellfire rounds. So he's hitting on 4s because it's just obscured. 2 hits and winning on 2s. 2 wounds. So 2 5-up saves onto this unfortunate Gene Stealer here. Makes 1, fails 1. You want to CP that?
Yeah.
CP reroll on the unsaved. And he makes it with a 6, keeping him alive. And now the only thing left is the heavy specialist with his frag cannon. He's going to do the 2d6 auto hitting setting, getting only 4 shots, winning you on 3s, rerolling 1s. 2 saves to make, and it's AP -1, which doesn't matter to you. So 2 5-up saves.
1.
Makes 1, fails 1. So it's just 1 damage though. So on a 4-up, you're out. No, just a flesh wound. And the Primaris Psyker actually does not have technically line of sight into that Gene Stealer, so I can't actually shoot him with the bolt pistol. So that is shooting. We'll come back to you with the fight phase. And in the fighting phase, we decided to do something kind of interesting. He would have the initiative here to fight because both these guys charge into him, but I'm going to spend 2 CP for a decisive strike, and which brings me down to 1 CP. And he's also going to spend 2 CP to do the same thing. So we're going to roll off and see who gets to do our decisive strike first. Get 8 to your 10. So you still get to attack with both these guys first. Come back to you after that. So he's going to do his decisive strike first with the Broodlord, which is a very smart idea. So he's got 2 attacks, or 6 attacks hitting on 2s, rather. And looks like all but 1 hit.
Yeah.
And strength is 5.
Yes.
Winning me on 3s. So
3.
3 wounds. And reroll on because of monstrous running claws. So 1 more wound. Got 4 Terminator 5-up saves. Oh, making only 2 of them. So that would actually kill him. So just 1 damage apiece. So on a 4-up, he is out. And he's dead. Deaded as hell. Got my Terminator Sergeant. And that 6 to wound actually was like AP -6, 3 damage. So he was dead as hell by default. And initiative for turn 4 is going to be... I get a big old 7. Let me get John. Big old 10. Okay, so Gene Stealers are definitely getting it this time. Come back to you after movement. And in the movement phase for the Tyranids, which happen to be mostly Gene Stealers, Broodlord's going to charge and try to eat up this Overwatch right here because Catalyst is still technically in effect, which is what we're rolling because it says until your next psychic phase, and he's got it off. So let's see what you get. Rerollable because you reroll charges. And you're in. So I got 2d6 auto hitting. Let's see what I can do. 6 shots. Auto hitting, winning you on 3s. Cool. 5 wounds. AP -1 doesn't really matter though. So 5-up invols.
5 invols.
Oh god. So 3 have gone through so far. So 1 more. So 3 go through, bringing you down to just 1 wound. And 3 5-up fulfillment pains now for Catalyst. We make it. Oh wow, that's good. Okay, cool. So you only take 1 wound in Overwatch. Awesome. So he's down to 3 wounds. And the other Gene Stealer with the flesh wound is going to charge in. Definitely makes it. And this Gene Stealer right here is going to try to charge up the building. I'm pretty sure I can't really see this guy. So no Overwatch. So he's got a rerollable charge up the building here. definitely makes it in. And in my movement phase, the guy over here just moved in advanced off of his little perch. This guy stood still obviously because he got charged, and he stood still obviously because he got charged. And I'm going to charge my Primaris Sergeant over into the Broodlord here. I need a 6-inch charge, which I don't get. I'm going to use a CP to reroll though. Now I get it. Over here, the Broodlord's going to do some split attacks. John, you're going to do 4 on this Primaris Sergeant and 2 on this Veteran, right?
Yep.
Cool.
So,
hitting on 2s and rerolling all wounds.
all right.
So 4 first on the Primaris. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4 hits and winning me on 3s and rerolling. So that 2 gets rerolled. Hey, look at that, it's another wound. So I got 4 wounds. These are AP -3, right? So I got 4 6-up saves, which I don't make a single one of. So roll 1d3 for the first one, see if it kills him. Does 3 damage. So roll 3 dice, and on a 4-up he is smoked. Hey, look at that. He's been evaporated by monstrous running claws. 2 more attacks going into the Veteran here. They both hit. And winning on 3s, re-rolling. 1 wound so far. 1 wound so far. So I got 1 6-up save, which I don't make. It's worth a CP? I think it is. I think it might be worth a CP. CP reroll that, which I don't get. So it goes through. So on a 4-up, he is dead.
Much damage?
Yeah, D3 damage.
Okay.
2 damage, so 2 dice, and on either one of these is a 4. He's dead. You've killed the Veteran. And up here, and I'm considering doing a decisive strike. Do you want to spend 2 CP and roll off for it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, let's see. So decisive strike, I'm gonna get an 8 to
6.
Oh, not quite enough. So he is going to get to attack first. So the Primaris Librarian is going to do 4 attacks, hitting on 3s into this guy. All but 1 hits, and winning on 4s. 2 wounds, AP -3, but doesn't really matter to you. So 2 5-up saves.
No.
Fails both of them. So it's D3 damage because it's a 4 sword. So the first one does 1, that kills him now. So on a 4-up, he's gone. Oh, just a flush wound. And now the Gene Stealer's swinging back with 3. -1 to hit, though, because he's got a flush wound. So he'd be hitting on 4s.
4s, yeah.
2 hits, and winning on 4s. Are you re-rolling any wounds because of your Broodlord? AP -1 save, so I got a 4-up save on the Primaris Librarian, which I make with a 6. And this would be the end of the game right now, because it's the end of turn 4, but this has got a variable mission length. So, on a 3-up, the attacker rolling, we keep on going. And we keep on going. And John's still got a shot to take this. So, I'll come back to you after our initiative. I'm going to get... Uh-oh. Oh, God. It's a meager 5. I think you got me on that one. So, you definitely have the initiative. I'll come back to you for turn 5. So, Gene Stealer down here with the flesh wound is going to charge into my Primaris Librarian. Haven't checked the distance yet, but let's see what we get. So an 8, and that totally gets him in. So this Broodlord's gonna move in advance over here, and he's Kraken, so he's taking the highest, which he gets a 6. So it's gonna be 8 plus 6.
So that's 14.
So in the movement phase, he got way over here. The only guy I could move is this Veteran with a frag cannon, so they're just gonna face each other in an epic confrontation here, unless he gets side bolted in the face, and it won't be very epic. So we'll come back to you with the psychic phase, which John has the initiative.
What's up, fools? This is Wes now. Wes got Ryan phone, so he's doing a guest filming because I was over here painting. So yeah. So what's going on?
I'm gonna sidebolt the hell out of this guy.
All right. So closest visible model. Let's go. Let's see what you roll. Ooh, it's a 5.
That's enough.
Just barely get it.
That
However,
is it.
I haven't denied the witch though.
So now the question is, do you want to burn a command point to maybe get that 2 up, or risk it being a 1?
CP that.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Just
do
do the whole roll. Because you have to do the whole roll.
Truth, yeah, truth.
Oh my
Oh
god!
no! No, it was literally the worst possible thing that could have happened.
You're +1 to cast it, so it still goes off. You still get the 5. But now I have to roll this to deny it. And I do deny it with that much.
As they say in California, bummer wave.
Is that what they say in California?
I've never been to California. So I'm going to give this one back to Ryan.
Now the epic confrontation that we've all wanted is coming to fruition here. My brave veteran is going to 2d6 auto hit with a frag cannon right into the Broodlord. Getting 11 shots, John. 11 shots. And these are wounding on 3s. So many wounds. John's got 5-up saves coming right here. Needed some liquid courage. Don't fuck this up, John. See, you already fucked it up. You already dropped the dice. And he made 1, 2, 3 fails out of the 5. So that's him. He's dead. It's only 1 damage though. So
still have Catalyst? No,
you don't have Catalyst anymore. So on a 4-up, he is Dunzo. And it's a 6.
Dang.
I have killed the Broodlord with a lucky frag cannon of 11 shots. And just for shits and giggles over here, these Gene Stealers are going to just smear the floor with my Primaris Librarian. So the first Gene Stealer, let's say here, is going to do his 3 attacks, hitting on 4s. 1 hit. And wounding on 4s. Boop. That is a wound. So I've got a 4-up save. 3 more attacks coming here. Get 1, 2 hits, and wound on 4s. That is 1 wound. So I got 1 4-up save. John, I think that's it.
That is it.
Unless you can roll really well for this next turn. Now there's really no getting this back. So at this point, I attack back with 4 attacks. He hits on 3s. It was a pretty bad roll. Not splitting anything up. Doesn't wound. Oh, he does have tactics though, so re-rolling the 1. There's that. AP -3 on this guy. So 1 5-up save.
This is just insult.
He doesn't make it.
This is just insult to injury at
D3
this
damage for just 1. So on a 3-up because he's already got a flesh wound. And he's so with that. We're going to call it here, because there's only 1 Gene Stealer on the board. I've still got my Primaris Librarian here with all his glowy eye action, and this guy way over here that can advance and probably shoot one of these guys if I fall back. So, pretty fun game. I didn't actually end the way I thought I was going to. I thought I was going to get swarmed by a bunch of Gene Stealers, and frag cannons were going to save me. So, it's cool to see that big guns kind of work sometimes, but also this is a... If there were more bodies, probably, I think John probably would have had the upper hand. I think the Broodlord's 130 points.
131, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty expensive for a commander. That's why I don't run the Watchmaster anymore. He's just like 130 points of a guy that moves 6 inches and doesn't really do much except for like a reroll aura, which like when you have frag cannons, most of the time doesn't really matter. So I don't know. I feel like maybe we should. The next one should probably be re-racked. Same thing, but just way more Gene Stealers. And I think you'd probably have the upper hand by default. But, John?
I will say, I was pretty pleased with how the Broodlord performed, because I haven't used him before. This is my first time trying that. So,
yeah, definitely.
Actually, in the paint, he did pretty well.
Yeah.
Had some bad rolls, and he got taken out of commission. I think he has a lot of promise. That game could have gone either way. I'm not disappointed.
Oh yeah,
it was fun. It was a good one.
It's also just fun to. This is like the first time of me using a Psyker and Kill Team. I think in general. So it's just fun having another phase to do some stuff in.
Yeah,
which is like
that was cool.
Yeah, normally your entire army is just punch me in the face, and my entire army is sit still and shoot. So it's kind of cool to have a little bit of a different dynamic for once.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
Yeah. Anything else you want to add, John?
No, man. It was good.
Cool.
I'm learning.
I think so far the Deathwatch are keeping the planet of vengeance at bay from this Kraken swarm that's trying to take it over.
They're ever vigilant.
Yeah, they keep on coming with the frag cannons every time. I think that the next one's going to be a 40k game, right? We're going to do a narrative 40k game.
Yeah.
Kind of the same deal. I'm gonna be outnumbered by just a bunch of Gene Stealers, and you're gonna keep punching me in the face.
Yeah.
So that'll be cool. We'll get back with that very soon, hopefully. And yeah, thanks everybody for watching. Catch you next time.